When you are in academia, you can often face failure in different forms, and that can overwhelm you. You may feel depressed and not know how to get out of the hellhole. So, here today, my friends, today I'm going to talk about how to cope up with failure in academia. Please hear this till the end so that you can get some useful informations on how to cope up with the feeling of failure while you are trying to stay ahead in academia. Failure can come in different forms. For a student, a failure may show up in their report card, or if you are a researcher, your research may have had failure showing up in negative experiment results. Or if you were hoping to get a grant and you didn't get it, that will appear to be a failure to you. You may think that you are failing the expectations of other people who are around you, or you may feel that you are failing with respect to the standards that you have of yourself. You may think that you are good at something, and now that something that you are good at, if that is not working, definitely it will cause depression to you. So I say no to depression. Don't get into depression, because depression can lead to addiction, to alcoholism, and also to suicidal thoughts that can have a very negative impact in your life. You don't want to get into that whirlpool. Trust me, I know this because I had a friend who was so depressed that she got addicted to pain medicines to such an extent that she was not able to get back to her feet for a very long time. Thankfully, her friends and family came along to help her, and she survived through academia. So, in the next few minutes, I will tell you how you can get out of this situation of facing a failure and become a survivor in academia. So, stay tuned with me. Now, let's know what to do when you have a feeling of failure and you think you fail. Trust me, friends, this is not you who fail. It's the feeling of failure that is overwhelming you. Don't let this feeling of failure take over your life. So let's come up with solutions that can help you to get out of this zone of you failing. Firstly, figure out why you associate that outcome to a failure. What do I mean by this? Suppose if you have got results from some exams that you had taken in your school and you got a really bad grade, which makes it to the failure standard that the school has established. Should you consider this to be your failure? No, this is not your failure. This is a situation that was created because of some judgmental errors you had while you were answering those questions that were required for you to show that you are good in your educational level to get passing grades. Okay, so because you didn't answer them appropriately, therefore you got a grade that says fail in your report card. But it doesn't mean that you failed. Your thoughts didn't approve of you to get a passing grade. So now get back to the result card that you have or to the evaluation sheet that you had and think about the number of questions that you really had a success on, the questions that you correctly answered. And then think about the questions that you didn't correctly answer. Why didn't you answer those questions correctly? That is something we need to figure out. If you had thought about those questions properly, maybe you could have come out with the correct answers, or maybe you didn't have that knowledge to answer them appropriately, right? So why do you look at this situation of a failure that has been showing up in your report card as your failure? Try to assess this situation. If you are talking about a failure in other events of academic life, so suppose you didn't get a grant, okay, or suppose you were thinking of putting up a paper for a publication in a specific journal with a higher impact factor, but you could not. Go back and look at the successes that you did during this process. So while writing the grant or while writing a journal article, how many new knowledges have you acquired? How many new experiments you have done? What have they taught you? These are your successes. So count on those successes. So the first thing will be to figure out why do you have a feeling of failure with the outcome that you are observing. Think about it, write it down, or try to understand it from deeply and acknowledge this feeling. Because once you acknowledge the feeling, then you will know how to get out of this feeling also. The next step to do is to see if you can reverse the situation that has made you to feel that you are a failure in a certain aspect. So suppose you have failed an exam. What can you do next? Try to figure out if you can get some extra credits that can upgrade your grades that you have obtained in the exam. Ask your teachers around. How can you improve it next time? What did you not know the previous time when you were going through the process that you need to know in order to make a success out of the situation? If you do not try to find other possibilities, you will never know how to get out of this failure situation. So try to seek out, try to ask other people around you, try to ask your advisors, try to ask your friends, your helpful friends who are not going to criticize you in a negative way but give you useful information that can help you to proceed. If somebody is telling you anything negative regarding your situation, you don't need that negativity around you. So try to get rid of that. Your first thing is to try to figure out how you can get yourself out of this situation. Try to write down every single item you can think of that can improve your current situation. In case if you do not understand how you can improve it, ask your friend or a family member to analyze the situation. This has happened to me sometimes when I really lose the view of a terrible situation that has happened to me. I find it hard to analyze the situation and see where I can go next. But I am grateful to have good friends in my life who try to analyze the situation for me. So they would sit down with me and tell me that, okay, now what can you do next? What are the things that are possible for you? Can you do this experiments, or can you do this kind of studies? Can you go to a different avenue in order to get out of this situation? This kind of helpful people are important for you to stay grounded, and it is also important that you understand that what is there in front of you. Do not get into the loophole that, oh, I did something bad and something bad is happening to me. You need to get out of that whirlpool and find yourself grounded. See what you can do to improve your situation. Make notes of them. So write it down like, okay, this is the cause of my failure, and this is what I can do to improve it. How many days do I need in order to improve myself? Is this feasible? Is my time limit feasible? Am I thinking of a goal that can be attained within a certain time frame? What should I do in order to make the best outcome of my situation? How can I make myself better? Write these things down. This is going to improve you and help you. The most important thing to do next, and this thing is really hard to do, I know this, but remember, you need to start working on your situation. Yes, you had a failure that you understood. Okay, what this failure came from? What can you do to improve this situation? Now you need to go back and start working on this situation. This can be hard when you are depressed. But remember, only you and only you can help yourself. I emphasize on the letter U. Remember, U is a upward curve with a smiley face. Okay? You have to get back on your feet and start working on the situation. Because if you don't work, you are not going to get the outcome. You can hope for things, but no work that is related to the hope will not give you your expected outcomes. So you need to work on it. Get up on your feet. If you need some time to, get relief of the depression, take some time. Okay? But don't take like maybe a very huge amount of time. Don't take a month. A month is too big of a time. A month is like 30 days. You do not need 30 days to recuperate yourself out from this situation of a failure. The slower time limit you have to rebound back, the better it is for you. Because if you keep on thinking about the failure, oh, this bad thing happened and I am sad, it's only going to bring you more sadness, more amount of unexpected outcomes that are going to make you feel like you failed more and more. And that is going to get you into the pit of depression. Don't go there. Try to bounce back as soon as possible. Maybe say take a day off. If you are really upset, take a day off. Take a few days off. Okay? Try to do something different. Go for a hike. Go for biking. Go for a movie. Do something fun with your family, with your friends. Get out of the situation for a while. Come back with a fresh outlook on the situation. And then work on that situation. You know you have made a list of things you can do to improve your situation. So now you can get focused on those points that you have listed and start working on them. The sooner you start, the sooner good things will happen. So you can fight with this situation where you feel helpless. Don't let this feeling of helpless settle in you. Get back on your feet, jump around, and start working. Now, while you are analyzing your situation, you might find that there is a situation that is completely out of your hand. Maybe you have got some rejection from some place. Okay? This rejection you should handle positively, because this is not a outcome that is dependent only on you, but it is also dependent on the person who was trying to judge you. Maybe there were other reasons why you got rejected, or your proposal, your grant got rejected. At that point you cannot do anything with this kind of situation. So the best thing to do is to relax. Breathe in deeply, breathe out, try to relax, and let this situation calm down. I know you are having a feeling of unhappiness. You wanted something, but it didn't happen. Understand this feeling. Remember, this day will pass, and time will heal this situation. You will not be unhappy for this forever. You will have a new idea, you will have a new proposal, you might have a new job, you might have thought about new experiments to do, you might think of giving a different exam than the one that you were giving. So you have thousands of possibilities or millions of possibilities near you. So relax, take your time, and don't focus on something that you cannot do anything about. Sometimes this often happens when you get negative reviews on your proposal or on a draft that you were thinking of publishing. And you need to give your comments back to the person who has a very negative uh, attitude towards the things or towards the specific points that you had illustrated in your document. So in that case, relax. Don't think it's a failure on your part. There are things you cannot handle. Take it in a positive way that yes, these are the limitations. But maybe instead of focusing on these limitations, I can focus on something that is positive. Take time while replying people back who might be having a very negative attitude towards the substance that makes you look like you have failed. Take time to reply them back in a calm and cool manner. Because sometimes if you reply them immediately, you might have a lot of anger inside you. That may hamper the relationship you have with these people around you. And you don't want that negativity to be there in this universe. So take time, cool down, and then write a reply back in a very positive manner. Understand your limitation. Tell them, okay, this is my limitation. However, there are other things I can do to improve this situation. And ask them if they have any advice that can help you to get out of this situation or some other kind of avenues that you are missing and they might have if they can give you advice on those kind of situations. I'm sure when it comes from a very humble and eager heart, people around you will be ready to help you. So ask them for your help. With this, I would like to end today's talk. I know it is very hard to cope up with the situation of a failure, but you can do this. I have done this multiple times. I don't let any kind of failure absorb me because I know that's very hampering and hindering for my advanced moves, and I cannot let that happen. I cannot let every criticism that comes around me come around me and hug me into this black cumulonimbus cloud. So I get out of that situation as quickly as possible, and I want you to do the same. So stay happy, stay positive, and stay succeeding. Remember that a lot of people actually went through a lot of failures to ultimately gain success. You must almost all of you may know Thomas Edison, who was the inventor of bulbs, light bulbs. He had gone through 1,000 failures before learning how to make a proper electric bulb. So he has a quote that says, "Many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up." So don't give up. Don't give up. Don't feel hopeless and stay positive that you can do this. You can succeed. So succeed and stay happy. Stay positive. Don't let sadness overwhelm you. So with this, I would end my video. If you like this video, please like this video, subscribe this and subscribe to my channel to learn more positive attitudes that can help you. I hope this video was helpful for you, and if you have any comments that can help other viewers to get through this situation, please share that in the comment section below. I really think that if we collaborate our ideas, then we can learn more and we can help each other to make this world a beautiful place. So stay happy and positive with me. Till then, see you. Bye bye.